The Leaving Today podcast, the show about the news, history, and attractions of the Disneyland Resort.
Well, come on, Wendy. Let's go.
But where are we going?
To Neverland.
Neverland.
Hello. Welcome to Leaving Today podcast, episode number 169. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening, this afternoon, this morning, however it is you're listening to it. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Mark, one of the co-hosts here. Sitting to the right of me is the trail master of puppets himself, Udi.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. For those of you joining us for the very first time, welcome. We think you'll find the water to be very, very warm. I know you have a lot of alternatives for Disneyland podcasts, but you are choosing to hang out with us, which is great. Mm-hmm. For those of you listeners out there who are frequent listeners, hey, welcome home. If you would like to join us, be part of the LTP family, we make it super simple. LeaveItTodayPodcast.com. We have a Patreon link there. $1, $3, or $5. Also on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast, we have a link tree on there, and all of our stuff's on there. T-shirts from TeePublic, Patreon, all that great stuff. So cool. Today's show, we're going to be talking to one of our listeners and friends, Seth. He's going to give us a review about a Disney cruise he just went on with his family, and also a recent park experience. So something to look forward to that. If you've never thought about going on a Disney cruise, or maybe had some questions, this could be something good for you. That was just like how I am. I have never been on one, but I learned a lot. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. All right. Of course, you have the news. Oh, Jess is at work today, so she couldn't make it, but we wanted to make sure we got our show out on schedule for you guys. Yep. Hopefully she'll be on the next show. Yep. Yeah. All right. So, am I missing anything?
Nope.
All right, we are in.
Wait. Who are we brought to you by? Did we say that already?
No. Who we brought you by?
By our Patreon.
Oh yeah, we brought you by you guys, our listeners, our Patreon. So again, you can go to our website and check it out there. Yep. Make it super simple. For a second there, I thought we got a brand new sponsor. I wasn't sure.
Well, I didn't tell you about. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wonder who we could get for a sponsor again. Dixon Flannels. Maybe Castle Life Creations. No? Oh, hey, do pay attention to that in the next couple episodes. We have something come up with them. Yeah?
Yeah, we gotta get working on that.
Yeah. Yep. For sure. And maybe a discount code too.
That's in there if you're paying attention.
Yeah, it's
floating out there.
It will be coming up April 2nd. All right. So today we have the news, and then we have an opening question brought to us by Terrence from our pre-show live show thing. Speaking of live show, I was talking to our friend Phil the other day about some possibilities about that, and he has some ideas for us. So that's something we got to work on, doing some live show stuff. So that is something that I definitely want to keep incorporating, or try it again, and I keep threatening with us to go live. Yeah. Anyway, opening question was from Terrence, and he said, "What are your 3 favorite rides from each park?" And he had his 3 favorite, but not his 3 most nostalgic favorites. So we had to ask him. And I along with Udi, was like, well, I can't. If they're my favorite, they're my favorite. It's either nostalgic or not necessarily. I don't think are the best rides, but they're my favorite, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems pretty simple. Let's tackle that real quick. Disneyland. Let's just each name one, and then we'll go from there, I guess. Okay. Well, if you guys know me, Matterhorn, right there. There's one for me.
Indy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Jungle Cruise for me.
We'll go with Rise on that one.
Rise, and then my favorite. Okay.
I'm not giving them in any particular order, but
No. Gosh, it's so classic to say Pirates, but probably Indy would be my third. Oh, well, no, wait a minute. No, I mean, I got two in Adventureland right there. You know what, dude? I'm gonna say Space Mountain for my third.
Yeah, and that one is a fair one because I'm like, ooh, space. But I'm going to go with Mansion.
Mansion.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
That has become one of my. I mean, and you know, I love Pirates also, but yeah, I feel like it's number 4. Well, it can bounce around at any time between 2, 3, and 4.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In this particular moment, it's sitting at 4.
Okay. Yeah, I have no problem with that. There's no wrong answer. It's always curious about that. Yeah, and then we said something for DCA, and I suspect ours are going to be the same.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a whole... The pickings are kind of slim there.
Yep.
So we would go say one?
Guardians.
Guardians, for sure. A match on that one.
Yeah. Soarin'
is classic, for sure. Absolutely. I got to put that on there.
And then I would go with... I'm going to go with Radiator.
Yep, that's what I was heading for.
Yeah, Radiator Springs.
Were you tossing between Incredicoaster?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, it's those 3 or 4 are just essentials.
Yeah.
I mean, what else? Goofy's Flight School? No. Web Slingers? No.
No.
Not even close. Mike and Sully to the Rescue, or Monsters Inc., whatever it is?
No.
Okay.
No.
So yeah, that's what was kind of a fun thing to visit. I mean, I didn't say like what is the best ride. I think it was my favorite because I think Rise might be the best attraction I've ever been on.
And even that can be really subjective. You know what I mean?
I do.
But I mean, if you want to go through a I mean, it really is. I think overall for immersion and technical prowess and length and how how much people can get on that thing and. There are a myriad of reasons why it's probably the best.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it encompasses a lot of, I guess, disciplines, I suppose.
Yes. Good way to put it.
In themed entertainment.
Correct, yep.
Yeah. Oh, man. I had a question, too, I was going to ask, but we may have talked about it with Seth, and it was about the reservation system.
And how terrible it is?
And just the whole... Why doesn't Genie Plus work the same way that Fast Pass worked?
It is an overthought.
An overthought.
Yeah, they're complicating the whole thing.
Oh, they are. Yeah, they're making it much more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah, the app and then this and then that and then you can do it one time but not this time and then no, dude. Like you need to simplify it. Like you hold one, that's it. Don't make a tier. Don't make anything. Like you hold one, you hold 2. You can hold 2. Done.
Yeah.
Done.
Right.
No need to be like, a second you use that one, you can pick up another one. Not difficult. Not freaking difficult at all. But no, they've tried to manipulate for algorithm, blah, 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 blah. I can go on for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah. Control. That's a one-word explanation for it all.
Yeah. What the other thing I was going to say?
Lame.
Or what?
Lame.
Speaking of that,
Speaking of lame?
No, I was thinking about something regarding Galaxy's Edge, and I just when I was there a few weeks ago, I was walking around, and it just occurred to me that it was in the middle of the day, and New Orleans Square, Adventureland was just jammed full of people. Not a whole lot of people on Galaxy's Edge. And I don't know what's going on with that place. Thematically, it looks great, but the story just isn't there for me.
For what?
For me, and like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like... It's supposed to be. I mean, I would imagine this land would have been jam packed all the time.
Well, no, I think we've talked about it before. I want to say we just talked about it last episode.
Did we? Maybe.
Well, no, but it was kind of in conversation.
Yeah.
That they messed up, or maybe I don't remember. I talk about it so often I don't know where I said it. But no, they absolutely messed up by time locking it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The idea, the concept was fine. A little out there, a little bit of an experiment, a little bit of a risk, a whole lot of a risk, really. Mm-hmm. But nothing wrong with the idea. The problem is if you don't pick the right era, which they did not, and that was a purely monetary decision trying to push the new films and push that, which at one level makes sense at that time. Mm. But the other problem now is that they have yet to recognize, or maybe they have, but so they've either not recognized the error, either that one, or they haven't been willing to walk away from that idea. I mean, they're kind of doing it now with Mando and Grogu only because they are so popular.
Yeah.
Grogu, and now with the season 3 of Mandalorian out.
Yeah.
That is going to get blown up again.
Sure.
I mean, if you guys haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Holy cow. And if you guys know Rebels, holy dude. Like, I lost my proverbial crap. Like, I was,
Rebels?
No. Mandalorian.
But you said Rebels.
I know, because there's things that point. And if you know Rebels, you're going to see
I don't know Clone Wars, but I know Rebels.
No, you're going to see something in there. You're going to be like,
okay.
Like I did. It's a total, if you know, you know. Moment.
I see. Oh, is that what Joey was saying on that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even tell what that image was.
And I'm not going to break.
It's a shadow or something, right?
I'm not going to break it for you. I'm not going. You haven't watched it yet. I'm not going to.
No, but okay. But you can at least tell me what that picture is. He's showing me.
I can't. No, I can't. You got to watch it.
I can't even tell what that is.
Okay, maybe when you watch it, you're watching with Annika, right?
Yeah.
I bet you she's going to know.
Okay, well, I'm going to. So
when are you watching it?
Wednesday.
Okay.
So
you're gonna go,
just from that picture that Joey showed, I should know from that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Take another look at it.
Okay.
Take another look at it.
I will.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Well, you said
and for everybody out there, if you know,
you said they got the wrong era. For what about having no era? Would that have, would
no.
Would that have been better?
Yeah, that would have been better.
Okay.
And if that's what I'm saying. If you're going to time lock it, you need to pick the right era.
Yeah.
They time locked it in the wrong era. It would have been better not to time lock it at all.
Yeah.
I've said it. What they need to do is just make sure that they don't overlap. So, like, these hours of the day, you'll have, OT. These hours of the days, you're going to have, prequel. And then if you really need to, do sequel. Now, the problem is that, the land is set in the sequel area, which you can still work around that.
Yeah.
It's only a couple things, really. It's only that what you call it? That shuttle.
The First Order?
Yeah, that's it. If that wasn't there,
yeah,
it wouldn't matter. Like, you could remove it because...
And some of the logos.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the First Order logo, right?
No, that's why. If you got rid of that whole First Order corner...
Yeah.
Done.
Oh, yeah.
You could you could make it a pirate corner, like a space pirate corner, or like you could do so many other things. You could change that.
Right.
But no, that, and then because again, for everybody who doesn't know, the idea was supposed to be a lot more inclusive in what was going on, to try to have, a lot more happening to pull you in. They haven't followed through. And that is one of the other problems with it.
That is, yeah.
So if you're going to remove that, then let it go and then I would bet good money that second you see Darth rolling through there, people would lose it.
Oh yeah,
it'd go crazy.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Because you see Kylo, and I kind of go like, Kylo. It's a fun show when he comes out and everything, but no, it's not Darth Vader.
It's not.
Can you picture the same thing? How Kylo comes out, but instead of it being Kylo's theme and him coming out, it's Darth with the Imperial theme.
Oh yeah, that'd be crazy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Then coming out and be like, and then the Stormtroopers wouldn't have to interact at all because it would be Darth. They would be there exactly like that. Even I would even go further than don't even make them stormtroopers. Make them as Royal Guard. Even better.
Oh, the red ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they'd have to change the whole stormtroopers around. Yep. Okay.
Not that hard.
Not that hard.
Difficult. I'm sure
No.
you'll go over to your closest 501st Battalion and be like, here you go.
Yep.
Done.
Okay. Well, that's the opening question, opening thought. All right. Well, with that, let's go over to the news.
You listen to me now. You are talking about things that you do not understand.
Okay. Well, the first news item we have for today is the original Disneyland Resort engine is returning to service. One of the original Disneyland Resort steam engines, the EP Ripley, is returning to service after 5 years. The engine is named after Edward Payson Ripley, one of the original founders of the Atchison and Topeka Railroad, later the Santa Fe Railroad, established in 1859. The engine was taken off track about 5 years ago for repairs, followed by a full restoration project that began the summer of 2021. And on March 6, 2023, it will return to service at Disneyland Park. That's actually tomorrow. The restoration process required the team to replicate the engine's original boiler, headlamp, and bell.
Cool.
We replaced some of the original parts since they aren't manufactured anymore, said Taran Khan. Khan.
Kana, actually.
Oh, Kana, sorry, said Taran Kana, lead mechanical engineer. Everything is mechanical and runs like a steam engine from the past, from the boiler all the way down to the whistle.
Very cool.
Yes. And I think this is great. I'm glad they're taking time to invest in these and restore them and refurbish them. You got to keep these things running forever. Awesome. And there's a picture of the new one that's going to roll out tomorrow. And also with Walt on it back from, I guess, it'd be 1955-ish. Man, that's awesome. Okay. Next news item. Oh, this is for Udi. Udi's the one that requested this. Rogers the musical. Rogers the musical is coming to DCA this summer. The fictional musical from the first episode of Disney Plus series Hawkeye will become a short one-act musical to be performed for a limited time. Thank God, at the Hyperion Theater in DCA. Fans who attended the 2022 D23 Expo were treated to a surprise live performance of Save the City during the Marvel Studios panel. But so far, Disney has not elaborated on how the one song will be expanded into a longer piece. A casting notice from Disney Audition's website earlier this month gave a hint at the new production. The call went out for a specific combination of performers, leaving park watchers wondering exactly what Disney musical required. 3 female identifying roles, 20 to 50s, vocal range, all style, proficient with harmonization and ability to sing in many styles from Destiny's Child to Andrew's Sisters. Okay, they go through all this stuff. So they want males, females, from the mid-20s to early 30s. That's what we know about the show. There has been a little teaser. Fans have seen a little bit of it, but to me, I've never seen a show in the Hyperion Theater. It would take a lot for me. It would have to be like 110 for me to go in there just to get out of it. But I don't know. This is definitely not my thing. You're more of the Marvel guy than I am for sure. What do you think about this?
Yeah.
And me knowing Udi, I can tell he's not totally pleased.
No. Okay, I'm trying to really not be too overly critical and not too mean. Because there's a part of me who I find it funny and amusing. I'm like, okay, it's kind of funny because when you see that in the movie, it's funny because you're laughing at how they're fictionalizing the whole war in the whole battle in New York with all the event, and then even though I'm like it's not accurate, but anyway. But the other part of it is I feel like it's another misstep for Marvel right now, and for Disney in general. I think when it comes to Marvel, how can I put it? They're not doing well. I have not seen a Marvel movie since.
Well, Ant-Man you saw.
Nope.
You didn't see it?
Nope. Haven't seen
Oh.
it yet. Haven't wanted to. I wanted to, and I kind of went like, "Hey, I can go see it," and I kind of went like, "Eh."
Oh, wait a minute. Isn't there a new... didn't they tease a new Avengers movie?
No, it's Marvel. They said, "Oh, one of the original Avengers is back." I'm like, "Yeah, okay."
No, there's a Avengers something for 2000.
No, Miss Marvels. The Marvels are coming out.
Okay.
So here is my point. The
Okay.
last movie I saw
Okay.
in the theater was Shang-Chi, and the what is it, the 7 Rings or 10 Rings of Destiny, whatever. And I saw it.
Okay.
And I saw it with Christy, and all we did. Okay, her and I have a really bad habit of when we get into a theater together. We trash talk the whole time. It's like it's really rude.
you don't watch the movie?
I do too. Yeah, no. If the movie like okay, we saw Spider-Man together and that was fine. Like we were quiet and we actually watched the film. We went to go see that, and all we did was her and I was talk trash about it the whole time. Anyway, that was the last Marvel movie in theater I've seen. So to me, it's just another thing. Part of me is like it's kind of cute, it's kind of funny, it's kind of kitschy. The other part of me is like, you guys are screwing up with Marvel, and now you look a little desperate.
Look a little desperate,
You
yeah.
look a whole lot of desperate.
Okay.
So hopefully it's good. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I'm like, I don't know how many people are going to come pouring through.
Would you go see it?
If I had nothing better to do.
I mean, if it's like a half an hour long or something,
Yeah.
I guess. But if you had nothing else to do, if I had to kill time, but
There have been good shows in there that I have been like, nah.
But the only thing I can say really positive about it is I'm glad that they're using the theater, and I'm glad they're putting some of these actors to work.
Yep.
It should be interesting. All right.
Yep.
Step into the next news item is step into San Fransokyo Square at Disney California Adventure Park beginning summer of 2023.
Sweet.
That's this summer.
Crazy.
We have some new concept art we have not seen.
Dude, that looks so cool.
At D23 Expo, it was announced to much fanfare that the Pacific Wharf in DCA would turn into San Fransokyo from Walt Disney Animation Studios' Academy Award-winning Big Hero 6. Those of you who have already recently been to the park may have seen this exciting transformation already has begun. Later this summer, during the Disney 100 celebration at Disneyland Resort, you will be able to step into the new area named San Fransokyo Square and discover new offerings inspired by Baymax and friends. So new stuff were announced. The San Fransokyo Square will transport you to the not-so-distant future in a fictional mashup of 2 iconic cities, San Francisco and Tokyo. So it's going to be so these two came together to reinvent the seaside canneries into a vibrant multicultural district of neighborhood restaurants and small businesses where you will be able to eat and shop. I think this looks fantastic. One of the highlights is going to be the iconic landmark of the San Fransokyo Gate Bridge, which will span the tide of the pools linking the San Fransokyo Square to the Paradise Gardens Park obelisk. I think that word is obelisk, right? Obelisk. Okay. Yeah. Once you cross the bridge, you'll catch a view of the floating wind turbine atop an old fishing net tannery, powering the district from high in the sky. Clues to the area's storied and charming past can be found in the details throughout the San Fransokyo Square. I mean, we were looking at some concept art, and I think this looks absolutely great. Is this enough to get you into the park?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll go, definitely.
Yeah. Curious a bit about the new food and all that kind of stuff that they're going to be having there. New experience. And I wonder, when I first heard this at D23, I was thinking this might be like a temporary thing, but it may not be temporary. It might be a permanent thing. Okay. So that's interesting. Interesting for sure. And yeah, as long as I'm glad, some of the old places aren't leaving. In fact, I don't think anything's leaving.
No, they're going to get rethemed and repainted.
Rethemed. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think the last news item we have is first look inside the villas at the Disneyland Hotel opening this September. Okay. Disney says the villas at Disneyland Hotel will blend The villas at Disneyland Hotel will blend timeless Walt Disney Animation Studio classics with contemporary designs, delicately curating a celebration of Disney history in the place where it all started, the Disneyland Resort. So it's a 12-story DVC tower It's going to immerse you in discovering the creative storytelling process, bringing some of your favorite Disney stories to like, okay. So, yes, it's DVC, but regular people, that is people who aren't DVC members, are going to be able to get this. So they're going to be able to book these rooms. So, these rooms look incredible.
They really do.
And the one so they're themed like Fantasia, Princess and the Frog. There's I think a Big Thunder one or something that I saw. But the one that I kind of want to talk about just real quick is the villas. There's this massive multi-level 3-bedroom grand villa that sleeps up to 12 guests.
It's pretty cool looking.
The first floor has a full-size kitchen, large dining area, a double-sided fireplace connecting the living room and balcony. The primary suite, inspired by Bambi, is also on the first floor. So there's an outdoor picture of it, which is the last picture, and holy cow.
It looks amazing. I'm curious how much this is going to run.
That's exactly what I'm going to ask you. Is like, and who's going to stay there?
A lot of people.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people are going to.
Probably a lot of Disneyland influencers,
Well,
Instagrammers. Yeah. So if we're having a cocktail out at Trader Sam's, we could actually see this room.
Yep.
And how cool would it be to be like, oh, we're staying in this villa tonight, and you can just totally see the pool and everything?
Yep.
My guess, what's your guess?
A couple grand.
Oh, at least
3 to 4.
Yeah, about 3 to 4 a night.
Mm-hmm.
But if we have 12 people, and let's say we each spent $300, that's $3,600. Would you spend $300 a night to stay there?
No.
No. What would be the most that you would spend just for you for one night?
A couple hundred. Maybe 300.
Maybe
no. Looking at the room, 300 is actually not out of the realm.
No, you get. Yeah. I would have to stay in the room the whole day then, because that's that's crazy talk.
Yes.
But no, I think it looks great. And I'm glad they're opening it up to guests that aren't DVC members. But I don't know. I just think it's a step in a different direction. I wish that they had more rooms that were accessible to people that weren't members.
Yeah.
But anyways, I shall keep my eye on this just to see what it goes. To see where it goes. I would never want to be a DVC member. I think timeshare stuff's kind of silly.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was really all the news. Not totally exciting news stuff, besides just a few things, and hopefully we'll get some more as the episodes roll on. But just yeah, that's that. Okay. So 101 is dark because she's not here tonight. So with that, let's go to our feature presentation.
And now for our feature presentation.
Hey, LTP listeners, welcome to our feature presentation. Right now, hey, we are joined by one of our listeners and actually friends, Seth. Dude, what is up, man?
Hi, how's it going?
It's going fairly decent.
Yeah, not bad.
Yes, now that you're joining us.
Yeah. How you doing?
Great.
You good?
Cool. Yeah. So, we keep in touch with Seth. He was with us for Rise of the Resistance.
Opening day,
January 18th? 17th, 2020. That's right. That's right. Something I will not ever forget.
No.
And also, inside the Haunted Mansion, when Seth kind of grabbed my shoulder and said, "Hey, our boarding group's on right now," and I said, "Okay, do not tell Udi anything, because if we mention any word to Udi that our boarding group is ready in the middle of Haunted Mansion, he's going to cause an issue." So
I was calm though. I took it very calm.
Yes. Okay, so like I said, we do keep in touch with Seth. He's one of those cool guys. But he let us know that he recently went on a Disney cruise, and we thought it'd be kind of cool to talk about that, kind of shift gears a little bit, because we talk a lot about the parks and food, which we will do. But a cruise is something I've never been on. I know Udi hasn't. I don't. I can't speak for Jess, but I would if I had to bet money. She has not either. Any
Not
sort of
on a
cruise.
Disney cruise. She has been on a cruise, but not. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, see, she's got us all beat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to talk about this, and maybe. So Seth, maybe you could just talk about what prompted you to do this, and give us all the details about all that kind of stuff.
So this is the first cruise I've ever been on of any kind.
Well, wait a minute,
happened-
Seth. That's not even a true statement. I know you've been on the Jungle Cruise.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the longest cruise.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there we go.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
gotcha. We had to clarify
Okay.
that. Okay.
So, in I'd say mid-November, it was my daughter's birthday, and we were having dinner with her family, or my family, my in-laws, and they said, "Hey, we found a good deal on Disney Cruise. You guys should come. You guys should come with us." I'm like, "Really? I thought Disney cruises were super expensive," and they said, "No, we got a great room. It was only like $1,500 for the two of us." I was like, that doesn't even sound reasonable. So we looked it up online, and we found out that it was for the three of us, it was about $2,000 for a 5-day cruise from San Diego to Ensenada and Cabo for 5 days. So
For 2,000.
that was, yes, $2,000. So that was 5 days. It was I live in San Diego. So
Yeah.
it was from San Diego. The first night we drove overnight, went to Ensenada, and then I think we cruised for, went to Ensenada the first day, and then cruised for 1 day, and then overday, and then the third day we went to Cabo San Lucas, and then we spent a day in Cabo, and then the cruise on the ship for another day, and then the overnight the next morning we went back to San Diego. So it was like the morning of the 6th day we were back in San Diego.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for $2,000 for you and your family, so there's 4 of you.
The three of us.
Oh, 3 of you.
It was one room. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here's some questions. So what was the name of the cruise line? What Disney boat was it? Ship?
So it was the Disney Wonder.
Okay.
So that one is actually based in San Diego now. They have right now they have 5 boats. They have the Disney Wonder, the Disney Magic, Disney Magic is the first one. The Disney Wonder is the second one. So those are the first 2 they built. They built the Magic first, and the Wonder was like the next year they came out with the Wonder. And then there is the Fantasy and the Dream, which are the next 2 that are a little bigger, and I think they're in Florida.
Okay.
And they just came out with the Wish this year.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Treasure is coming out next year.
Jeez. Okay.
And then I guess they bought another one that was already half built
Yeah. I
from
remember.
a company that went out of business.
Yeah.
And that one's going to be gigantic, but I don't think from what I understand from the rumors, it's going to be in like Asia somewhere.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you have any like reservations about going on it? So for me, I'll just speak personally. I haven't been on a cruise because I don't want to get seasick. That's something I just cannot deal with. I know you can take the band, not the Magic Band, but the band and Dramamine, and maybe get a patch or something, which I would have to do. I'd have to be drugged for like 4 days, 5 days straight. Did you have any problems about that or any concerns about that?
So the weird thing is, I was worried about that because like Star Tours sometimes makes me a little queasy.
Yeah.
I did not have a problem at all. My wife, who never gets motion sickness in any way at all, got a little motion sickness on the boat.
Okay.
But they sell stuff on the boat, and after she took that, she was 100% fine the rest of the trip.
Oh, great.
And what surprisingly, you think you're on a boat, they would mark all the prices of that stuff up. No, it was like $4 for the pills.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So it was, and they did everything they could to try to accommodate her. They said, "Oh, here, take this. This will make you feel better. Just take this right before you eat, and you'll be fine." And the pills lasted for 24 hours. It was like one pill for 24 hours, and then she felt fine the rest of the trip after that.
Yeah, awesome. I think I would need like a IV on like a rolling cart or something.
You had to be carrying it behind you, or
Oh
like
my gosh.
the little stand walking around
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
So did you?
And the boat didn't rock. It rocked. It definitely rocked, but it wasn't like crazy, like moving a lot. Like there was definitely some people who didn't feel that well, but I didn't see lots of people getting sick, like sick on the boat.
Okay.
There was definitely some, but it wasn't like really, really bad like you would on a normal like smaller boat, because the boat's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 1,000 feet long and
Yeah.
100 feet high.
Awesome. So did you book through Disney or like a local agent or something?
So I got the price through Disney, and I actually booked through Costco because Costco gave me a cash card if I booked through Costco.
Oh, there you go, for sure.
There you go.
You've got to do that, right?
Because I got like $200 through Costco to book through them, and I also used my Costco credit card, so I got cash back because it's on the Costco credit card to get like 4% cash back or something. So I saved a little money doing it that way. But you can. It was the same exact price through Costco as it was through Disney.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
So when I paid, it was like $2,000 for the three of us. I just booked. I actually didn't get. I booked a little bit too late to get. It would have been like $1,700 if I would have booked like a day earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But I was a little bit later because they have rooms that you don't. You just get the style of room. You don't get to pick your actual room.
Okay.
So I got to actually pick my room, and so it was a little bit more expensive because I wasn't quite early enough to book the cheaper room.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I just got an indoor stateroom, like the cheapest indoor stateroom I could get, and I got to pick where it was on what level and all that. And honestly, to me, because we went in February, so it's not warm that much in the Pacific in February, so I wasn't going to be sitting there on the deck.
Yeah.
Because it's not that warm. So, and you really do not spend any time in your room. I mean, we only really slept in our room and changed and took showers. We spent all of our time doing activities on the boat, so our room didn't really make much of a difference to us.
Awesome. So can you speak to those activities? Like what did they have for you guys to do?
So they have, if you have kids, they have this place called the Oceaneers Lab, the Oceaneers Lounge, where they had, let me take back. So everything on the ship runs through, they have a Disney Cruise Lines app, and it has just a giant list of activities that go, that you throughout the day of stuff to do. They have trivia contests, like Disney trivia contests. They have music contests, like guessing songs and stuff. They have I'm trying to think what else they have. They have like mixology classes. They have whiskey tasting content, like whiskey tasting. They have some of
the whiskey would not be up to Udi's preference.
Nope, probably not.
Well, maybe, you never know.
I don't know.
Oh, they had all kinds of different types of classes.
That mixology class would be kind of fun.
Yep.
I'd like to do that.
We did that one. Mm-hmm. It wasn't exactly as I thought it would be. You don't actually get to mix the drinks. They just mix the drinks for you and give them to you, which I was kind of bummed about that. I thought they would actually let you mix them, but they didn't. They just made them for you and then gave you. So it's basically a drinking class. They say, here's a drink and you drink it.
There you go. Okay.
And then they give you the recipe.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then they have like water slides. They had lots of pools, jacuzzis.
Do you guys go swimming and stuff, or is it too cold for that? Or
no, we went swimming.
Heck yeah!
In the hot tub, went down the pool. The farther south we got, the warmer it got.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Cabo, it was probably 75 degrees, so it was warm in Cabo.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it rained when we were in Sonata because it was just raining that day when we were there. But I mean, we got off. We went shopping. In Cabo, we went and because they have port activities where we went and swam with dolphins.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. But all that stuff is extra cost.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what at any point, I mean, other than that, were you paying for anything more? like the classes or anything like that, or the drinking drinking class?
The drinking costs extra. The drinking classes cost extra. But as far as the money we paid for the cruise, everything is basically included. And if it's not, they tell you ahead of time.
Oh,
they don't tack on extra stuff unless you know about it.
Sure. But
So
you have to give them some sort of gratuity afterwards, right? Is that
Yes.
okay?
So the way it works, it's $14.50 per person per day. So your $14.50, it works for so there's 3 of us, so we each paid $14.50 per person per day, and it pays for your head waiter, your assistant waiter, the person who cleans your room, and it pays for, I think, the person who runs the dining room. And they split it, and they give you like a printout at the end of the cruise that says, "This is how much goes to who. This is how much goes to them." And if you really want to, you can actually go and lower that at the end of the cruise at the front desk. I mean, we didn't. As good a job as they did,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be. We actually gave them extra because they did such a great job.
Oh, cool.
Cool. So like another $250, $300. You just think about that, right? That's what that is. Ends up being.
Yeah. For 5 days, I don't remember what it was. I think it was like $200.
Okay.
Or 180. I don't. It really wasn't that much, but we gave them an extra. We gave our servers more. We gave our cleaning guy more. So the first day when we got there, so 30 days ahead of time, so we have our cruise set up. We have, I guess, so it depends on, because the more Disney cruises you go on, the higher level tier you get into.
Sure.
So you get to book your shore excursions and your because they have certain activities on the boat. Some of them are even free, like character meet and greets and stuff like that. Like at Disneyland they have like the royal court where you can meet the princesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they have the same thing on the boat where
Okay.
they meet in the lobby. You can sign up for it to go meet them.
So you're telling me the princess can
all
be
at once.
so the princesses can be on the cruise and at Disneyland at the same time?
That's a miracle.
That's a miracle.
Magic.
Magic. Okay.
Yeah, it's the wonder. So
It's a wonder. Is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you can sign up for the royal court, I think it is,
Okay.
ahead of time. And because I think if you're on the top tier, you get 60 days in advance, you can book that. If you're just your first time cruising, I think it's 30 days, you can book that. Or you can book your shore adventures 60 days in advance. But if you're not, it's 30 days or it's something. It's all booked into the stuff. But so 30 days before your cruise, before you start cruising, you can book the time you can come check in.
Okay.
So the day you get there, 30 days before, you can book. You try to get the earliest time you can to check into your boat, because as soon as you check in, you go to the port of entry or the port, and you can go onto the boat early.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you go through customs, you like at the airport, you check your bags,
Oh yeah.
and then you go onto the boat, and when you get to the lobby of the boat, which is like the big atrium area, they announce who you are, and you come onto the boat, and the whole like cast cheers you as you walk onto the boat.
Oh,
Cool.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as you get there, the service starts. Like you can go have lunch.
Oh yeah.
Or
Yeah.
you can go swimming. You can go have lunch. You can go, the boat's open to you. You can do whatever you want.
Sure.
Oh, cool.
So we went right to one of the regular restaurants, and we just went and had food. And they had like a full 5-course meal, and they have a menu, and you just go, you eat whatever you want. So we sat down and we ate, and
What'd you
that's
eat?
all included. The first day, I think I had a salad and a steak, and some Oreo cheesecake, and I don't remember what else, but it was good. It was
Sure.
very good.
Sure.
That
Awesome.
was at Tiana's place.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then you can kind of have a run of the boat and check everything out the first day you get there. So that's the one good thing about trying to get an early book in. So you can You can also go into your room, and well, I think the rooms are available like after like 1 o'clock or something, and then they'll bring your bags to your room for you, so you don't have to carry your bags to your room or anything. They just bring everything to you, and the porter will bring everything to your room. And the porter, the guy who cleans your room, once he sees you're there, he'll come introduce himself. And by the end of the first day, he knows everybody in your party's name, and he says, "Hi, nice to meet you." He's all, "Do you want me to call you Mr. Avery, or can I call you by your first name?" And they're super nice. And like, you go in. So every time we go in, we take showers.
Yeah.
We'd go do something. When we came back, we had fresh towels hung up.
Okay.
If we left like our swimsuits in the bottom of the bathtub, they were hung up on the curtain rod. Beds were always, he'd make the beds. When we came back after dinner, he'd had the beds turned down. They'd fold like a blanket into like an animal every time.
Yeah. Fun.
Yeah. So I mean, I couldn't be happier with the service aspect of just the people on the boat. It's kind of like how Disney used to be. I don't know how else to explain it. Like how Disneyland, how wholesome it used to be. Not saying it's not exactly how it used to be now, like it was like 5 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like that. They're very, very
customer focused.
Very customer focused.
Okay.
Very customer focused.
Well, no, I think that's great, and that's part of the price. I mean, that's part of the experience you're paying for, is to have your stuff taken care of. So like, let's say on day 3 you need to, like, I don't know, wash your pants or wash your shirt or something. Are there facilities there that you do that? Can you do that there, or do you send them out on a bag for them to do? I mean, or what's the deal with that?
So there's full laundry facilities on the boat.
Okay.
They have washers and dryers. It's so when you get there, you check in, and they give you a key to the world card, which is a key to your room. It also lets you charge everything. If you want extra stuff, you can charge it to your key to the world card.
Okay.
So if you want to wash some clothes, there's a laundry facility on each floor, and you can go wash clothes.
Okay.
If you want to. I never had to do that. We were only there for 5 days, and we way overpacked because we didn't know how the weather would be.
Sure.
But yeah, if you want to go wash your clothes, you can wash your clothes.
But but that's something that you have to pay for, right?
You would pay for like the laundry soap, and you'd pay for like if you were at a laundromat.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you definitely could if you wanted to. So yeah, the other activities they had, like, so they had these every night. They kind of have it set up so there's a show and there's dinner. So dinner is different, I've heard, on Disney cruises than every other cruise line. They have three set dining restaurants, and they're all full service restaurants. So on the Wonder, there was an animator's restaurant, there was Tiana's place, and the other one was Triton's. So Tiana's is obviously Tiana's, and then there's Triton's, which is Little Mermaid theme, and then Animators, which is like Mickey Mouse, but it's like kind of like a show and a dinner. And then so you either had early dinner and you went to the late show, or you had late dinner and you went to the early show. So they have a big theater at the very front of the boat where they would have like the first night they had a illusionist that they did.
Okay.
And then the second night they had a show called Golden Mickey's, was like a stage show. And then they had a Frozen show, and then they had what was the third show? I can't remember. It was like a variety type Mickey Mouse, like an old show. But the shows were really, really good. They were very entertaining. And then you'd go to dinner on the opposite time of your show.
Okay.
But the sit-down dinners were very good, and they're all included. And the wait staff for the dinners were very good too. It got to the point to where, like, when you came for dinner, that they already had your drink sitting there ready for you when you got there.
Okay.
They knew everybody's name. Like, I would go and try to cut my daughter's food, and they wouldn't let me. They would cut the kids' food for you.
Perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
So each of those 3 sit-down restaurants, are they themed like special foods for each of those 3 ones? Is it, for example, is one like more of an Italian restaurant, or one is more Mexican, or one, I don't know what else?
So Tiano's was like a New Orleans style food. Triton's was like seafood.
Okay.
Yeah, and Animators, it was kind of French, I guess. It was. Yeah, I guess it was French. Yeah, Animators was kind of cool because they gave you like pieces of paper, and you got to draw your own like character, and they would put it up on the screen, and they would animate it with like the Mickey Mouse characters, and they would show your animation walking across the screen.
Really?
Like, and it was really cool. They would it was like part of the show, and I'm not really doing it justice just by explaining it to you. You kind of have to watch it, but it was It was really cool the way they would put it on there. Like it was, and dinner was about 90 minutes every day.
Okay.
Every night. Yeah, and it was really, really, dinner was really entertaining. It was worth going to every night.
Okay.
And they also have an adults only dinner place too called Palo on that ship. It's extra price. So they have a set meal that's $45. They also do brunch. So we set it up for dinner before we went on the ship. But the problem was we didn't want to. Dinner was so good. The free dinner was so good. We didn't want to miss it.
Okay.
So we switched it to brunch.
Okay.
So we went to it on brunch, and we're like, okay, $45, it's worth it. So we'll go to brunch, and we tried like one of almost everything on the menu, and it was still only $45 a person. So they didn't like upcharge us for trying like almost every different entree, and the food was like a 5-star restaurant style food. It wasn't like, it was like a fine dining type of quality food. Like I had some seared ahi that was better than I've ever had, and I've had good seared ahi before. It was really that good.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and they had it's a French style restaurant, and it sits at the back of the boat, and you're overlooking the ocean the whole time. And they have like fresh croissants, and it was brunch. They had like waffles, and they had they gave us complimentary mimosas, and it was, and they only let you book once per cruise ahead of time. But then if they have extra spots after people have been given a chance to book, they'll let you book again. A lot of adults book that to try to get away from the kids a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah. So another thing about the kids is the engineers club is for kids. I think it's 5 to 11. They give them a little kind of like a magic band, and they have to check in and out of the engineers club. You can either give them the option, like as a parent, if you let them check themselves in and out on their own, or you can make it so they can't check themselves out. And they have a lot of activities, like they'll have characters meet them in there, or like they have activities in there, like they'll have character meets in there, or they have like drawing classes or games or scavenger hunts or all kinds of stuff they do in there that the kids seem pretty entertaining in there. Or for like teenagers, they have a different lounge for teenagers. For the kids are like 13 to 17, I think, and they have a different lounge for them.
Cool.
Oh,
And then they have a for the smaller kids, they have like I think it's a Small World that they have like for the little kids that
Nice.
they watch the kids.
Nice.
Yeah. And they also have a separate pool and hot tub area for adults only, where the kids can't go,
Oh, cool.
on the back of the ship too. And they have a spa too. They have a full spa that's adults only.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's really catered for all ages. If you really wanted to, if you wanted to go have some time to yourself with your kids, you really could. If you really wanted to.
Okay, so what was the best food item you had, and what was the worst food item?
So,
Hey, we asked the tough questions here.
yeah. So the worst. So the cheesecake I had was not. It wasn't. It had an okay flavor, but it was not cold. I've never had cheesecake that wasn't cold, so it was really off-putting to have cheesecake that wasn't cold.
Oh, it was like room temperature or something?
Yeah, it was room temperature. So to me, I've never had cheesecake that wasn't not cold. It was weird to me. It just,
okay, I can see that. Yeah, I can see that being weird.
That was off-putting. But the last night they had prime rib, and it was awesome. It was really, really, really good. But surprisingly, my daughter, she had escargot for the first time. She loved it.
I've never had that. Have you had that?
Nope.
Oh.
I didn't tell her what it was beforehand. But after even if I told her afterwards, she still liked it. So yeah, it was surprisingly really good, and she liked it. But so they have the 3 restaurants. They rotate you each night to each restaurant. You keep the same exact servers every restaurant. So you have the same servers every day because they rotate with you to each restaurant. So we had 5 nights, 3 restaurants. So you don't have the same food every night. They change the menu every night. If you have the same restaurant 2 nights in a row, they change the menu.
Oh, okay.
So we had Animator's Palette twice in a row because one was for the regular Animators night. Then the other night was Pirates night because they had a Pirates night on deck where they had a party on deck with Pirates of the Caribbean theme.
Oh, cool.
So they changed to Pirates type food.
Well, what's a pirate food?
Yeah, that was my question.
I'm sorry?
What would be classified as pirates food?
I don't remember what the Pirates food was. It was basically very similar, like steak type stuff with different names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It just had different types of names to it. I'm trying to think what else. And then, yeah, it was. I couldn't really recommend a cruise more than the Disney cruise. Just
okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
We never ran out of stuff to do. Like they had Family Feud type games. Like my daughter and wife got on like a who knows each other better type of game.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, and that was fun. And my daughter and her friend, they're both 9 years old. They were there, and I completely felt safe with the 2 of them running around the boat with each other, and didn't worry about having to watch them like a hawk the whole time. Like it was just a very family friendly environment. There wasn't a lot of sketchy characters around. It didn't seem like, and the staff really watched out for the people. Were really conscious of the people around, and there was always somebody there, it seemed like. And the character meetings, so there was a lot of character meet and greets on the boat, and they always had them in the center of the boat, and they had a good schedule of when you could go meet them. And they were during the day there was a character meeting every 15 minutes, there was 2 or 3 at a time, always if your kids want to go meet characters. Oh, they also had a full-blown movie theater on the boat.
Oh yeah,
you could go watch movies. So they were showing Avatar when I was there, and what's the Westworld or whatever the other movie is, and Lightyear. Oh, and I got to go see. They kind of had a D23 one where they were showing what was coming up with Disney. That was kind of cool. I went and watched that.
Cool. I'd probably go see that.
Yeah, that's all I watched when I went on the theater. Because honestly, I was so busy doing all the other stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really have time. So they also, if you don't want to go, so for lunchtime, they have the dinner stuff set up. For lunchtime, they have a buffet that you can go to and eat that's on the back of the boat that it has everything, like hamburgers, hot dogs, pizzas, like just anything you can imagine they have on the buffet back there. But if you don't want to go to the buffet, they have one of the restaurants for sit-down lunch. If you want to go have a sit-down lunch, it's all free. It's all included.
Sure.
If you want to go have a sit-down lunch, you just go have a sit-down lunch. You can go have a sit-down lunch. Or breakfast is the same thing. You can have a sit-down breakfast, or you can have a buffet breakfast. It's all included. Just it's your preference on how you want to eat.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Let's try to summarize this. So it was a 5 days cruise. Do you wish you were on a 7 or 10 day cruise afterwards? You're like, oh man, we should stay there longer.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
So I didn't. None of us wanted it to end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, it was the first vacation. Me and my wife were saying the same thing. It was the first vacation we've been on where we weren't tired when we were done.
Oh, cool.
Because usually we're so tired by the time we're on vacation, it's like we need to take a couple of days off just to relax, like recuperate from our vacation.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, because it was easy for us because we lived where we left from, so we just got a ride down to the cruise terminal, jumped on a boat, and left.
Sure.
It was pretty easy.
What part of San Diego are you from? Or do you live? Right.
Well, we live in Alpine. It's like 30 minutes from the cruise terminal.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're kind of in like the outskirts of San Diego, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's in Oceanside, so he's about 45 minutes away, I think, from the airport from San Diego.
Yeah, he's up north.
Yeah, he's north.
Yeah, I live
a little more
east of downtown.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, straight east.
Straight east. So how likely are you to book another Disney cruise?
So we are 100% likely.
Oh, okay.
So before we left the cruise, they had a deal that if you put your deposit of $250 on your next cruise, they give you priority booking and they give you 10% off your next cruise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we already did that.
There you go. So where's your cruise then?
So we want to go to the Caribbean next time because this time we're like, you know what, we want to go on a warm cruise next time because it's kind of chilly. So we wanted to try to go to the Caribbean and probably go to Disney World next time.
So because
we've never been to Disney World.
So now, and I know they must have already thought about this because it's Disney, but if you're on a Disney cruise to the Caribbean, there's got to be a Pirates night.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean sort of thing. Oh my gosh!
If they had it on that one, they're going to have it on that.
That sounds fun.
Well, they gave us little headbands that say Pirates in the Caribbean on it, so I'm sure that's where they came from.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how long of a cruise is that?
7 days, probably.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
Yeah. So they have we looked at the newer ship, the Wish.
Mm-hmm.
And the newer ship, the restaurants in that one, they have a Marvel restaurant on the new ship. It's like themed for Marvel, and they have a Star Wars bar.
Oh.
So, yeah, we'll definitely go.
Yeah.
Definitely want to go to the Caribbean next time.
For sure. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so 100% you're guaranteed to go on your next cruise, and you loved it. So that's a very glowing review.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you did that.
And we actually, the people who work on the ship are so friendly, and you get to kind of build relationships with them because you're with them. You're on a boat, so you're with them so much.
Yeah.
Talk to them a lot. Like you kind of, I don't know if I'm normal in that way, but I had talked to them a lot about their lives and stuff and where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them have worked on other cruise lines before. And I asked them, so why are you working for Disney? They're like, I love working for Disney. This is the cruise line I chose to work for. I've worked 10 years at the other one. I worked here for 15 years, and this is where I want to keep working.
Okay.
They say that the Disney cruise line treats them better than where they worked before. And they don't really bring up money. I just think it seems like they get treated better, lifestyle-wise.
Oh, probably.
Because I'm not thinking – these guys seem like they're all from foreign countries, and I don't think – a lot of British people – a lot of people from Russian type countries and a lot of people from Asian countries. or like the Philippines, or like countries like that. And it seems like they work for 6 months, they take like a month and a half off, and they come back for their contract for another 6 months.
Okay.
But they like the way that the Disney Cruise Line treats them, it seems like.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I was very happy to see that's why they work for them.
Yes.
And they're all very happy. They're all very happy to work where they work, and they love doing it.
And that probably shows through how they treat you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That makes a big difference. Okay, awesome. Well, dude, thank you for sharing about your Disney cruise. I hope listeners maybe gained a little more knowledge, insight about it. I definitely knew nothing about the Disney Cruise Line. So we have some firsthand experience. Now, what you were going to ask him about the park experience recently?
Yeah. I mean, you've been going quite often, and I was curious on how you're vibing with the park right now, because we've got Jess who's been going often, but you know, not being too far, you have been going more often than she has. So I'm curious on your take on right now of the park, and how you mentioned to us before that you re-upped your Magic Key. So I'm curious as to, you know, what led to that decision, because I know Mark and I have discussed that back and forth quite often, like, will we, when will we, and all those kind of things. So you re-upped. So I'm curious, is like, you re-upped, and how has it been for you that you've been there more often?
So I re-upped. It's for me, I live about an hour and a half away. So it's a pretty cheap vacation for us, because we live so close. We can go up for a day or an evening, or a couple days, and it's not too expensive to go. But honestly, the genie thing is really, to my opinion, kind of screwing up the park.
Yeah.
Okay. How so? I agree with you, but I think we all had different views of it.
So yesterday was a perfect example. So we went to ride Cars. Cars was, I think, on the wait time, it was 125-minute wait or something ridiculous.
Okay.
And so I said, okay, the three of us went single rider. Single rider was a 30-minute wait, because it's always that way. And the lightning lane, which is a lane you have to pay, because you can't get a regular lightning. It was, that line was probably a good 35, 40 minutes long. It was longer than the line for single rider.
Really?
And then,
jeez.
Yeah. And the regular line, you couldn't even see the regular line that was an hour or 125 minutes. You couldn't even see that line. Like, usually you can see it like backed up, you know, where the wishing well part is. You couldn't even see it there. It was all the way where it kind of joggles back and forth inside those little rooms.
Yeah.
It was only in that one little room, the farthest room. So they're letting so few people who don't pay extra to go in, like the standby line. They're letting so few people go onto the actual ride.
Oh yeah.
That's how long it's taking.
Sure.
My wife rode with somebody who was in the standby line. She said she got in line at 4, and she didn't get on the ride till like 6:15.
Wow.
And
that's horrible.
And it was only that far from wow.
Yeah, I don't know how many people that is. Maybe 1,000 at the most.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. See,
I don't think
I noticed them doing that on Big Thunder I was there like 3 weeks ago, and they were doing the same thing on Big Thunder. Like the whole standby line was just jammed, and they were letting everyone in with Lightning Pass or Lightning Lane and Genie Plus, and it's like, yeah, it sucked.
it's gotten to the point where I almost have to buy Genie every single time I go. Otherwise, I ride like 4 or 5 rides every time I go because it's not worth it to me because I get so frustrated having to wait and stand by all the time.
Yeah.
The rides that don't have Genie are awesome. Like Pirates goes right through every time. It's not a problem.
Right.
But like, I'm trying to think of what ride it was yesterday. We were
Matterhorn does that.
Yeah, it jams right through. Like I couldn't get a Genie for Matterhorn yesterday, but the standby line was only 25 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because they ran out of Genie Plus tickets.
Jeez.
Yeah, the second so it sounds like the second they can't make more money is when they're going to open that back up.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Well, and the Genie line for Soarin' yesterday, so I got Genie for Soarin', and the line was all the way past Smoke Jumpers.
What?
That was the Genie line.
Really?
Yeah, the Genie line.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you know what? My experiences as of late, I mean, and it's been a year now, the Genie line is always longer. The standby lines are becoming shorter and shorter, but no, I mean, I hadn't really thought of it that way, that Lightning Lane, paying for it, is beginning to really alter wait times. It's really making it bad. So they're in essence flexing you, trying to flex you into, and we thought that would be the case, but it really sounds like it now. Like you gotta pay more. They're gonna want you to pay more so you can get on the ride in some decent amount of time, unless because that Radiator Springs, that's crazy. That line only being that long for standby, no way should it be 2 hours. No way.
Yeah.
From that point, no way.
It was ridiculous, and all the lines are like that. Like Guardians is even worse.
Yeah,
Guardians was terrible, and the slow, like Radiator Springs is the worst. I've waited standby. I've almost gotten to the point where I don't even ride the ride anymore because I can't stand waiting in the standby line. I don't want to spend half my day waiting on standby to ride on that ride.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, I agree.
And Credit Coaster is almost the only one you can ride anymore to wait standby. And Midway is like one of the ones that I can't wait standby. I will never wait standby to ride on it because it takes so long to load. With if you're not Genie, it's not worth going on because it takes so long because they never let the standby line go through.
Yeah, and
because they sell too many Genies.
Yep, and that is going to be the issue going forward. I think it's going to be. How can I put it? I think that's going to affect the park in a negative. I mean, long term in a negative fashion. I hope that they recognize that it cannot stand. I don't know how long it's going to take, though. I really don't. I think you're going to have to really. The only thing that is going to affect that, I think, is numbers going down. People deciding like I'm not going to pay that for that, or I'm not going to go to the park.
Right.
But right now, from what I'm hearing, attendance numbers are up and everything as far as a park goes is fine.
Which I think...
Well, they're making a lot of money.
They are.
Yeah.
And, I mean, when I was walking around the parks last time, I was just thinking it'd be great if they had like a third gate somewhere to help just get this people out, and make it more. But maybe that'll bring even more people. Who knows?
Oh, it would.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't necessarily be a negative thing, though. You bring more people in, but it gives them more room to maneuver and to walk around, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, I've also noticed that if you get there at rope drop for like the first 2 hours, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You can go and you can ride almost everything. It's not a problem. And if you're there after fireworks, it's almost the same way.
Yeah.
You can ride everything. But if you're there after 2 o'clock till about 7 o'clock, it's just not even worth trying to get on anything because you're not going to have any luck. It's just so backed up and so busy. It's just so full of people. It's not even worth it because the Genie's just it backs everything up. And they also, I don't think the wait times are even accurate anymore.
No, they're not going to be. They honestly haven't been for a little while. But Jess has been hypothesizing or theorizing that the reason why they're artificially inflating the number so that would lean you and make you want to buy a lightning lane or something or get the genie for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Rise, I don't even trust Rise wait times anymore. I walk by Rise because I've walked by Rise. It says an hour wait. I've walked by. You can't even see the line from the front. It's like I've walked in there. It's like a 15-minute wait, and it says it's an hour.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've done that often. I forgot who I did that with. Somebody said, "Oh man, they're saying an hour or something like get in the line." They're like, "What? No, it says an hour." I'm like, "Get in the line." Oh, I did that. I did it with my mom when she went. I'm like, "Get in the line," but I don't want to be in the line that long. You're not going to be. I told her you're not going to be. Then she texted me back like, "Oh, I'm through the ride." I'm like, it was like a half an hour, 40 minutes later. I'm like, "I told you."
Yep.
I told you. Yeah. I haven't trusted that the entire time.
But what I went in the time before they had any genie or anything, and there was no fast pass, no line jumping of any kind, and it was awesome. There was everyone just waited standby all the time.
Yep.
And the lines went so smoothly, and there was never a problem.
Right.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
The wait times were down on everything.
Yep. No, and man, I wish there was a way to begin to try to roll all these things back, and try to get people like the nickel and diming has gotten out of control. I think we can all feel that, and I want it to go away. I really want it to go away.
Well, I agree with you, and I think they could easily start that rollback process by just getting rid of this lightning lane.
Yep, they get rid of that right away. They could keep Genie in theory, but the lightning lane, no, man.
No, that's stupid.
That right there is a cash grab, and we've been critical of that thing from the day it got announced. Like, what is that? Like, come on. Like, you can't do that to these people. You're already paying a premium to get into a premium park, and then we can't do that. And I don't know. I think, again, it being a short-term thing to regain cash, long-term problem. I think it's a long-term problem. And then what you're saying, Seth, is it's definitely that. Like, you're seeing it on the ground, and they're beginning to alienate more and more people with this. They really are. Yeah.
But how come the Genie system works so much worse than the old FastPass system?
Exactly,
the old FastPass system was great. Mm-hmm. This seems to be very similar, but it doesn't work, which I don't understand.
No.
Because the FastPass system worked awesome. And you could book the same ride 3 times in a day, and it wasn't an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
This, for some reason, doesn't work. And it costs more money, and it doesn't work as well, which I don't understand.
Right.
And I agree. And I think it has everything to do with them trying to mitigate. It's them trying to control the masses into a better way of just going through the park. I really feel that this is them taking the meta data that they get out of all of us when we go and trying to control what we can and can't do for their betterment. So if again, trying to make you to pay for a lightning lane, trying to make you we can only do X amount of people through this attraction. So let's try to mitigate that. Oh, the high peak time for this one is X amount, and this time, let's see if we can, maneuver that around. Everything's going to be done for, the way I'm looking at it, everything's going to be done to control us and our experience in the park. They're going to always use it like, put your preferences in or da-da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, that may be true. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of brakes and bumpers and rails that you have to basically maneuver through in the park. Outside of the normal ones that we would do normally, as avid park goers, we had all our little tricks and tip and pro tips. But this is Disney saying, no, you got to do this, and you got to maneuver here, and you got to do this when we say you can. And that to me is, it ruins the experience overall.
The experience is definitely different. And not in a good way. It's different and not in a good way. It's just, it's not the same. They're trying to, it's not, it used to give you a chance to experience the park in your own way, and it's not.
No.
It wants to make the park experience the same for everybody. but everybody doesn't experience the park in the same way.
No.
And they're trying to make it.
They're
Trying to
homogenized.
make it the same for everybody.
Yeah, and they're trying to homogenize that park into every other park, and try to make it like that. I actually was on another YouTube channel with Jason, his YouTube channel, just the other day, and I brought up the topic about how they're trying to make Disneyland proper into every other resort, operating in this weird kind of way, and they can't do that with this park. It's not. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for this park for a myriad of reasons, but they continuously have tried to bring in like magic bands and all these things. Like, they don't work here.
Right.
They don't work here for whatever reason. You can try to figure it out all you want, but it doesn't work. Locals park, more people that will come in and out at a much more quicker clip, and will stay for shorter times. All those things are the reality of Disneyland proper. There's no way around that, and it's not going to change. The only way they change that is by destroying the people that are destroying the class of people and that are going there now, and they try to push them out. And make it more like what they do at Walt Disney World, a lot more international, a lot more people that it's their destination. Disneyland is not it is a destination for a lot of people, but not the majority of the people. It's just not.
No.
I think the reservation system is screwing it up too, because a lot of the locals that, the locals will buy the pass that has all the days they can, but they're booking a whole day to go for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so busy in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
If they just got rid of the stupid reservation system, these people wouldn't have to book. They would come for the 2 hours and just go.
Mm-hmm.
Or they wouldn't come at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they have a reservation, they have to come, and they come.
Yeah.
Because they're so afraid to not be able to book for 30 days.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they get
And
penalized, yeah.
But I don't understand how they're making money off of the reservation system. I think they're stopping people who would come normally.
No.
Like, I know I miss out on days I would have gone because I didn't book a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I can book 4 at a time, but I don't, like, the days I would go, like, on a random Saturday, I don't think a month ahead of time to book on a Saturday. But those people that can book 8 reservations at a time, they book every Saturday they can.
Yeah.
As soon as they can.
Right.
And that's not my mentality.
Well,
if I think I'm going to go, I'll book it.
Yeah. Well, again, this has to do with them trying to control everything. This, to me, the reservation system at the beginning, at its inception, had to do with COVID and whatever, in that kind of idea. But it has been around now because what they're trying to do is control the flow of people. It's all about control. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. Like, there is no need. I think, again, I get that feeling with all these little things that they keep on putting into the park. They're trying to cut away a certain segment of people from going to the park. And not only with prices, but this kind of thing, like not knowing, I got to reserve, or, how many people still have no idea, like, why can I, like, does Universal do that? No. Does Six Flags? No. You just go to the park and you walk in. Like, you pay your entry and you go in. And so this whole system, even though we have learned to operate in it's about controlling, because they're trying to control, again, how much money they're spending in employee, with that cost, with cost of goods, all that thing. They're all trying to control all of that to a minute detail, and that is a big problem, because they're ruining the experience at that level. Because I always go back to that story of Walt, the popcorn vendor. 5 minutes till the park closes, and he's cleaning up his cart, and Walt comes by. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm cleaning up the cart." And he's like, "We're 5 minutes to close." He's like, "No, you're not. You're gonna make a whole fresh, batch of popcorn and have it for if people want it." They don't have the mentality anymore. Now it's like, how many times you walk through things that are like shut down? It's like, it's not, park closing at 11 or midnight, and it's closed at 11 o'clock. You're like, dude, what's up with that? And all this plays into that, So it's ruining all these little things, are making the park not as enjoyable as what we had growing up and what we even had 5 years ago.
Right.
And it's sad.
Well, yeah, that's yeah. So like, I watched the New World of Color for the first time last night, and so they put Walt at the very beginning, they put Walt at the very end. The whole middle, they don't have any of the movies that Walt worked on in them at all.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
There's no Snow White, no Bambi, no Fantasia, no nothing.
Wow.
There's nothing. None of that's in World of Color at all. They had, I think, Pocahontas. I don't know if Pocahontas is older than Little Mermaid's probably older. No, they didn't have Little Mermaid either. They had Pocahontas was probably the oldest movie that was in there.
Wow.
It was like Soul, Rave, which I haven't seen either of those, and that was like they had Coco, which was kind of cool. They had Moana. They had just a bunch of all the new movies.
Mm-hmm.
And then they threw the Star Wars. They threw Star Wars in there. Okay, the oldest thing in there was Star Wars. They threw the old school Star Wars stuff in there.
Oh, cool.
And then a little Marvel part, but they didn't really show any part of the Marvel movie. They just threw like a little
Hold on.
10-second Marvel part.
What old school Star Wars did they throw in there?
So they threw in like the main theme in there, and they showed some parts of Luke, some parts of Darth Vader, some cool parts with the Millennium Falcon, some X-Wing stuff.
See, again...
It was all old trilogy, besides they showed a little bit of the Mandalorian part with Grogu and Luke in the bamboo forest.
Nice.
And then one shot of Rey, and that was it for the new
But
genre.
again, I would have a major problem with that, because none of that stuff is even Disney
It's
to
Disney.
me.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's not.
Look what we bought so we can show you this. Well, because you didn't do any of this stuff. I mean, go ahead and show Ray or whatever it is you want to do and BB-8, but nothing before that, because you guys had nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
No, there was no BB-8. It was R2, Luke.
No, see, yeah, this is not your
Darth
stuff. I mean,
Vader.
yeah, you may have bought it, but
No, and
I know that's one other issue.
well, no,
it
is, but yeah.
It was all the old school. It was cool. It was really cool. It was all
Well, fine.
It was probably the longest segment of the whole show was the old school Star Wars stuff
Right.
that was from the 70s.
So that gives me a little bit of hope, that they're finally they're waking up to the fact that the sequel trilogies suck and that they are not getting accepted. I don't care how much you push them, people are not accepting them. It's over. It's been how many years since we've got
It's
them?
over.
It's over. Let it go. Let it die. You know, come on, like
Kill it if you must.
Kill it if you must. To quote Kylo,
Yeah.
that anyway. I'm gonna keep it family friendly, but anyway. So that gives me hope, because the turn. I think the tide has turned for Star Wars. I'm being optimistic, I know, but I'm gonna be positive. But anyway, yeah. But anyway, but that makes me happy to hear that they only gave one shot of Ray. Like, good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, okay, so they threw that in there, and that was it. But I was expecting them to show, like, because I heard that show was like, oh, they're going to show all the old school Disney stuff with, the new stuff. But no, it was all the new stuff. All the stuff that, like, they showed Mulan. It was, it was, I was kind of like, it was missing. They tried to. They started off with Walt Disney, so I figured it was going to be Disney stuff, but it was Pixar stuff.
Okay. Well, you know what? Well, you know what, guys? We are up against it with time. Seth's got to get going. So I just want to say, hey, thank you, Seth, for sharing some time with us and talking about your Disney Cruise Line experience. That actually opened my eyes a lot. It makes me think about maybe doing it at some point in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm glad you had a great experience. I'm glad you guys are going to do it again. So yeah, for sure.
Oh, thanks. It was great to be on the show.
Of course, man. Any time. And whenever we do figure out when we're going to come down to the parks, we'll let you know so you can join us for something.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Right on, dude. Well, okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
and
thank you, man.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you later.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Okay, so that's going to end episode 169. Thank you so much, Seth, for hanging out with us for an hour or so. That went really, really well. I'm glad we were able to get a nice review of Disney Cruise Line. Something that I never think about doing, but maybe in the future I will. What about? I don't know. Is cruising something you would even want to do?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would never say no. I just hadn't really thought about it, but I'm glad he did that, and I think we share a lot of the same sentiments about the park. As how it is. I mean, I had a really good experience, but this whole Genie Plus / Lightning Lane / standby thing, they need to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they have a pretty good idea of how they're doing it, and it's just not working.
Yeah, no, it isn't working. They need to scrap it. I think it needs to go away. I don't know how long it's going to take them to admit defeat, but they need to.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully next episode, maybe we'll have an interview when we have a guest on. Maybe Jay will be on. He's supposed to go to Food and Wine Festival on the 10th, is what he said. So he said he'll think about coming on the show. So hopefully we can do that. Okay, Udi, where can people find out more about you?
You can find me on my other podcast, The Mando Show.
Oh.
And much to everyone's joy, happiness, and just, I can't think of the right word, but we are overjoyed and excited that The Mandalorian Season 3 has landed. And that we will be reviewing on the weekly, and that episode, probably by the time this drops, we will have reviewed both episode 1 and 2.
Okay.
The new season.
How many episodes are scheduled for this season? 8.
Yep.
Not enough.
Never enough. So that's the Mando Show. You can also find me on my socials, which are Twitter, Instagram, and they are HAXGOALIE, Hacks Goalie. There you go.
All right. So if you'd like to learn about more of the show, reach out to us or you can send us an email at info@leavingtodaypodcast.com. Also, check us out on Instagram at Leaving Today Podcast and Facebook, Leaving Today Podcast. I don't know even who runs that, but maybe we can get
Justin 13.
Oh, okay. So you can definitely do that. If you want to be a sponsor of the show, we make it super easy with Patreon. Our link is on Instagram and on leavingtodaypodcast.com. $1, $3, and $5. And for that, you get to be on the show. All right. So that's going to wrap up this show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, spending some time with us. Hopefully we've improved your day a little bit. Hopefully we didn't make it worse. But no. All right. Until then, adventurers out there, we love you, and we will see you in the parks.
See ya.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Disneyland is now ended its normal operating day. We hope you enjoyed your visit to the Magic Kingdom and that the memories you've made will bring you back again soon.
I will give you one.
Not that one. Pick a different one.
Bite his box.
God, you're so slow. It's okay. I can make it work.
My body's just stiff. Think of a banana.
Does it help? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Always does. Every time. Don't ask me why. Why are you throwing up? You trying to eat all your food before your sister does? Now you can eat that.
We'll give it a bit.
Yeah, give it a second.
Okay. Woo!
But you make me hot. It's so close, I can feel it.
Kitty.
It's like a breath of fresh air.
Boy, was my face